We'll see. It's a little long. Did I mess it up? Sorry.
Woo!
I miss the freaking bejeebus out of you. And all these days later, you don't answer the phone quite like you used to. I think there's just too many state borders between our voices, too many wrong numbers and pocket dials, too many unanswered answering machines and handguns dressing up as apology letters. I wrote down your goodbye, word for word, in Morse code on the inside of my eyelids, so every time I blink, I get better at forgetting you. And nowadays, all of this beep, beep, dash, beep, beep, dash, dash, beeping sounds an awful lot like you leaving me, and your static sounds like, sorry, this sucks. It's just not working out anymore. And I want you to know I've been screening your calls, playing airport on my voice box, because my diction's changed, and honestly, I'm afraid you wouldn't understand me. Traded in that southern drawl for a taste of Southern California, but I still speak slow, so remind the tide to wait for me, and don't get ahead of yourself, Texas. I have forgotten how to spell I-35 and Republican, and honestly, Texas doesn't really fit in my vocabulary. My mouth is dry like your deserts, and I've been trying to fit my vowels around your consonants like Texas. I'm not over you. And I don't know why. We can't just tighten up these phone lines and pull a little bit. And I would drag Texas back and forth from California until the Midwest turned purple if you would make just a little more than a dial tone. And when's the last time you held your breath for a phone call? Or when's the last time you told someone who means absolutely everything to you that their voice was starting to sound a little bit like mashing keyboards, so you've been mashing keyboards ever since they hung up on you, trying to convince them there is beauty in their typos like, dear anonymous lover, reader, I'm sorry for the distance. And for the paper, just never been too good with answering machines, operators, or the game Operation. I still get buzzed on wishbones, Adam's apples, and that broken heart I played my part in breaking. I'm sorry for stripping you naked like a blank stare. You're the kind of swear word that makes a sailor shiver me tender, baby. I swear, I have been kicking myself like a bad habit ever since you said you'd had it and hung up on me the way you do when you're sick of being sold something. I told you, I've never been too good with phone calls, spent too much time trying to guess what you're wearing, and I have been writing your name down on everything. Can't help but test it out with my last as a last-ditch effort to keep you around. I have packed 2.5 years of fairy tales into 1,300 miles and a roadmap written on the back of a last name that has made a living out of making forest fires out of small talk, and I would have called you. Just never been too good with social cues. I tend to double space my words a lot, the way a serial killer does his list of things he would rather be dead, random and beautiful, tragic images of you tilt-shifting inside my head like memories I'm no longer allowed to write about. Like, do you remember the way you used to drag your teeth across my bottom lip like holiness, like Cinderella's last glass slipper in the ballroom of my mouth? We were good at playing make-believe. But my clock just struck 10, and the time change means your ball gown is faded. And there are still pieces of you stuck between my teeth, and I don't have the decency to pick this apart, so I have been practicing my make-believe with shop windows and wedding chapels, making toasts to tombstones and first dates. I have been keeping track of where you keep your kitchen knives, 3 in my back, 2 in the top drawer, and 1 under the pillow, just to make certain Prince Charming never gets a second with Cinderella he didn't earn. I've been learning where you leave your photographs. Like the highways on a road map, you may stretch me from coast to coast, but you always bring me back to the creases. Texas, it isn't that I don't want to be here, I've just been seeing other people. There's a steeple called You Should Sleep More growing out of your collarbone.
Let's go.
I will call you from the airport. Our conversation short and terminal. If you're waiting in the terminal, I will make an assumption like cancer. You leave me with very few options. Should I embrace you, assuming God has a plan for everything, or cut at you until I am nothing but bull's eyes? I am sorry for the distance and for the mess. Just never been too good with phone calls, or dartboards, tend to get caught in the copper wire and fist fights, bite my tongue, hallelujah, can't find the words to say I still love you, so I just don't say anything at all. And I hope the silence finds you comfort. The space between my words is how I keep you honest. You are worth so much more than a 2-bit phone call between short breaths. Sincerely, your ex-Texan Californian, a best friend who has lost his way. Please write back.